Welcome to the Rocket Launcher podcast. This is episode 185. I am your host, Supreme King. Join with me, as always, is my co-host, and his name is...
It's your guy Omazes.
You know what? We might as well just throw the Palworld stuff out there in the intro. We got some Nintendo going on the screen.
Yeah.
So what was we just saying? You said they got a card game or something?
Yeah, Palworld decided to jump right into the trading card game. I'm gonna be honest, their designs for their standard cards look like the hollow, like special design cards for Pokemon. But they decided to jump into the TCG. They got rules for how to play, and they sold a first edition collector's box with like a bunch of boosters. And right on the cover is a nice little typo that says Palword instead of Palworld, which I think is done intentionally to be like, oh, it's the first set. There's a typo to make it call worth even more for collectors. And people are already selling packs, like certain cards are already like, this costs $2,000. And trying to sell it for like hollow and special edition stuff, which is crazy that they already set out a market price. Somebody else even said they bought the box. It was like $160 for the box, and they bought it. It was like, I'm just going to put this in the closet for 5 years and see what happens.
You know what? What you just said reminded me of the other thing, because we're not really starting with Nintendo. This is a kind of impromptu, but well, yeah. Shout out to Palworld. Let me just finish the other part of Palworld, because I heard that they for the past 3 weeks they've had some good player count for their 1.0 version of Palworld. Close to or just over 500,000 concurrent players a day or something like that. So I actually think that that's pretty cool that after the controversy with Nintendo and this lawsuit thing kind of is dying down or on its last leg, it's starting to jump back up as a game that's, you know, doing good on its own. I would like to see more games do that. You know, everybody can have their own way of approaching the monster hunting or monster catching type game, and we can see more of it, so shout out to them for that. The funny thing is, I actually did wanted to start with PlayStation, but we're gonna do some quick Nintendo news. Did you hear that they decided also on Nintendo that Super Mario Sunshine is getting ready to be released on their I don't think it's the e-store, but their online that online plus or online expansion pack, I guess.
Yep, and then I forgot about it. That's crazy that they remember when they were like, you gotta buy this now, otherwise you'll never be able to play it on the Switch.
Yeah, that was a whole thing. Like, it was just the 3D All-Star Pack. Now all three pieces of it is available in different forms. Something like Sunshine was already something that was like heavily emulated on PC. If you were someone into emulation, period, Sunshine, along with pretty much everything on GameCube, was right there at your fingertips. And I mean, the decent computers now can all run it, but it also was something that's like a staple in GameCube if you was a retro collector. And I guess now it's available in some fashion on Nintendo's platform for their current system. So it is what it is. I kind of wiped my hands with Sunshine already. I played it for a little while, but at some point I was just like, I'm kind of just done with this game. I didn't really finish that one. That might be the only Mario game that I have started that I just didn't want to finish. I just didn't. Probably my least favorite out of all of them. I don't feel that way about Galaxy 1 at all. Galaxy 1 was fun. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit more biased towards Super Mario 64. I think almost everybody is, but you know, there's a good Mario game for every generation, I guess. But Sunshine, to me, if I was to rank them bad boys, Sunshine is very low. And that bad boy would be low. I have seen some PC mods where somebody attempted to make like a Sunshine 2 or whatever, where they just like expanded upon the game, worked with the controls, added more boards, made it, up to full 4K with some texture packs and frame rate packs. You have the ability to actually play at 4K 60 FPS on PC with some of the texture packs and widescreen and everything. So you could check that out. But yeah, Sunshine. Have you played Sunshine, or do you have any thoughts on Sunshine? Period.
All right, so I'm gonna say something. You gotta not judge me.
I judge you as enough as it is, actually. But
dang. Sunshine was the first Mario game that I played.
I mean, that's fair. That could be the first one.
When I grew up, I was very much like everybody around me, like my godbrother and everything was PlayStation. That's what they had. And then the friends who didn't have a PlayStation had a Dreamcast. But I didn't grow up around anybody with an N64. And then finally, like I think the one person who did have an N64, they only had James Bond. That was it. So I played that, and then other than that, it was all PlayStation and Dreamcast only. Then a friend of mine, they ended up getting a GameCube, and the 3 games that they had, I remember, was Madden 2003, Super Mario Sunshine, and Star Fox Adventures.
Hey.
So those would be what we played and everything. So that's the first Mario game that I went through in full. The next Mario games I got was Switch.
What's so cool about that generation too, though, is like in real time, it was never gonna be like Grand Theft Auto on the PS2 or wrestling on the PS2. So many different games that was on the PS2, but it's still a nice complete package that once you come back to it later on in life, there's a solid amount of stuff there that'll keep you happy. And what makes it really, really good is like the emulation is solid. So like you can have a foundation of retro games to work with once you have a solid PC that can run it. And I mean, so many different random handheld devices now can all run that stuff flawlessly anyway. So anybody can go and jump into any of these things and really just enjoy that whole platform. And then N64 is just like also a solid machine. It was only like a handful of games, I think, altogether. I mean, when you really think about it, it's like, well, that's still a lot, like 300 plus games. And it's like, if you're really like, you have to be in a situation right now where everybody's trying to boycott the current generations and Sony. It's like, okay, well, now you can go back and play all this stuff. It's like, it's a perfect time for people to actually sit down and run through so much emulation, because not only that, yes, you have the ability to emulate, you also have the ability to stream it, record it, to have footage. You also have the ability to have those retro achievements as well. So the whole package is like now there. Some of those games, if you do your research, you can actually play with friends online. It's like we've really taken the emulation thing to another level, where some of those titles were like co-op was only couch co-op. There was no online, because we're talking about GameCube, right? And so to jump into some of that stuff and be able to do it, because we can trick the system into thinking that you're right next to each other through PC emulation hacks and stuff, it's like, well, now's the time to really jump into this stuff, And then not only that, there's always the widescreen hacks, the 4K hacks, and the frame rate hacks. So, do your research and find out, what you can see with these different titles. I'm saying everything Nintendo does not want me to say. But I mean, it's we just have an open platform that's out there for everybody. But yeah, there is a game out there that wasn't on my radar, but is kind of on my radar if we're talking Nintendo, that is current, that I do plan to buy at some time, and I think that's the Yoshi title that they just came out with. I've been seeing more gameplay on it. It doesn't look as kiddie as the first Yoshi game on Switch, so I'm kind of just like, all right, I might check that out at some point. So there you go, Nintendo. I'm thinking about buying one of your latest games. But yeah, so aren't I kind? Nintendo. I was watching a video where someone said they are now considered the lesser of all the evils, and they officially is winning the console war. I thought it was kind of weird to hear, but it might be somewhat true if we're just saying that even with a game key card, you could take the game key card and you have the full rights to trade it in or sell it and that type of thing. And the next person probably still has to download and everything, but it's still your choice, right? And then that leads us into the ongoing topic that might be more ongoing than some of the other ones. Like I thought that the ongoing topic of acquisitions was just kind of an overkill. The ongoing topic of Sony not wanting to have physical discs anymore is going to start being an overkill as well. But I guess there's more news regarding that, and I think it's worth mentioning. So you put Sony double down. I do believe that as well, but I just want to set the stage because I did watch part of that press conference, and for me to really, when you really think about it, PlayStation basically laid the foundation out there to you that you do not come first. You as in the person who's the consumer, the buyer, because honestly, they felt the need. You could find that out because they felt the need to not even address you right away. It's like they said what they said, and yeah, they went dark because of the backlash, but then they came right back and said, hey, buy this fight stick, and here's some other things that's going on and things like that. And they didn't say anything to you, but the second they had another conference where they had to address their investors, they made sure they addressed their investors. And that to me that's a bigger story right there, that we will address the investors, but we're not going to address the consumer. Which for me is that's kind of a slap in the face a little like you kind of, not respecting me as a person within your world, a consumer or whatever. I don't matter as much is what they're basically saying. Because if they had the conference and then they didn't say anything about it there, that's the one thing. And of course they would have had to say something. The people sitting right in front of you and they're asking those questions, so you got to say something. But it's just the fact that they did not say it on the same platform that they announced it. They told you, hey, look at these other things that's coming out, buy. But with them, they're saying, okay, yeah, this is just something that we've considered. We've had a long discussion, blah, 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 and every politically correct thing you can say. And at the end of the day is, we're standing by this and we expect you, the gamer, to fold. And that's their message right then and there. And so it is what it is. I'm going to let you go ahead and speak what you got to say about it.
Yeah, basically that they said, their phrase they used was, we're going to cautiously move forward. So they ultimately was just like, we're going to use these words because some of these people might be watching, but we heard them, we don't really care. We're going to stick to what we want to do because we're sure that it's the vocal minority for it. And it just reminds me of the whole, it all just needs to burn down. Like, everything needs to crash and fail. And it feels weird for me personally, trying to join into any of these protests that people are trying to organize and do, only because I had already made up my mind like a year and a half ago, before any of this, that the PS5 was going to be my last console anyways. So it feels weird going like, yeah, they won't get my money for a PS6 because I wasn't going to get one, right? I didn't think anything was really going to change my mind on that, and then them constantly increasing prices kind of like pushed that forward. I know they stopped, but I think I kind of made up my mind when they first started putting stuff on PC, where I was like, yeah, I really don't need the next console anymore. So it feels weird to just be like, it's one of those, I'm going to protest this thing, but you don't go there anyways. It doesn't feel like genuine. It's fine. I already know I had 2 other games I had planned on getting. I'm going to get them and then call it quits. But,
the boycott needs to it's almost like we gotta have some sort of weird protest, not protest, but a weird conference of just nothing but gamers or something. We need to actually come to an agreement and an understanding on what this boycott is supposed to be, because I don't think everybody understands that.
But not only that, part of the issue is, I don't know, what I keep hearing is like, we're going to do this blackout of like, even like logging on, playing it, turning anything on, blah, blah, blah. And it was like, okay. But then you did this, you're like, for this specific week. It should have been like, from here on, we cancel this stuff, we turn it off, and we're not logging back on. Even if they didn't even like cancel, like they're like, close my PlayStation Network account or something like that. If it was purely, we're not looking at the store, we're not buying, we're not engaging, we're not turning anything on, like all of your player count stuff goes purely to zero for the foreseeable future, like until y'all do something. That's different than organizing for, like, yes, okay, it could probably make some significance for the final week of August, but if you think about it, they can just plan around that. Like, they're just like, all right, ain't nobody going to buy this week. Like, they could just, like, it's like almost like they can warn the investors for those that are out of the loop and be like, whoa, what happened? And it's like, oh, yeah, they all just decided not to play this week. And in my head, it's like, I always hear, like, when people are just like, boycott this store for this weekend, but then everybody does all their shopping on Thursday. So it's like they still got the money they would have gotten on Saturday, just earlier. And that's what it kind of feels like here, where you're planning this boycott. It's like, all right, let me get all the gaming out of my system now so I can skip this week. And it's like, I don't think they're going to get the message.
What's silly for me about it, like, I understand they're trying to do the blackout. The blackout happens for their main audience that they're looking at right now on a week-to-week basis as is, because those people simply just go to work. And I think people don't understand, like, it's you can't do something like that for a week, because they have plenty of people who have the system who do not touch the system for a week at a time. I am one of them. So, like, literally, that type of blackout was never going to do anything. I know it came from, I think it was whoever it was on the internet who is like 100% pro physical games. I forgot his name. Something. I actually do have them on a list that I follow for gaming information, where they report on some stuff, but that is not a real, that's not going to move the needle at all. What's going to move the needle is if, yes, you don't touch the system and you unplug it and you don't log in anywhere or do any activity on it, pretty much starting right now all the way until 2028. Because you got to starve them out all 2027. You have to starve them out for the rest of 2026. Because I think I said this a while back, it's like, how long could someone last when they're no longer getting a paycheck? Some people are already paycheck to paycheck. So once you cut the paycheck off, now, you don't have regular income coming in, and it's just like, you're in survival mode and you probably can't survive, and you almost have to put them in that spot, and then they can listen to what you're saying. Because right now they told an investor, we heard the backlash and we're going to keep going with what we're doing. Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to work. So some of the issues, one, is I think too many people, like, it ain't no way it's going to pass November, right? Mm-hmm. Because of GTA, too many people pre-ordered it, ready to go, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. And it seems like they waited until GTA announced, like it was just going to be the code in box before they were just like, yeah, we're also kind of doing that forever. But no more boxes either. But also, I don't know, I just feel like there's too many people that also, like, are just defending Sony, right? There's so many people who are just like, well, I only buy digital anyways. Why are y'all complaining? Like, digital is so much more convenient. Just move to like, just because it doesn't affect them, like, they're just like, oh, this shouldn't be an issue. And they're the type of people, too, is like, if Sony just goes, well, we're missing out on these people, so we'll just raise the price, they'll still just go get it. So I just don't see it working, unfortunately. Like, that don't mean, don't complain, don't try, or give in. I'm not giving in, I'm just, like, moving away. But like I said, they've doubled down. It doesn't seem like anything is going to move from this position. And it kind of is what it is now at this point. Again, that doesn't mean you need to give in and support them and give them money, buy the next system. Like, You could still reject it. It's just I don't think anything's going to change their mind. So it's like, all right, then, well, then I'm done with you. Like, it's just as simple as that. Some of these streaming services start charging up crazy, and it's like, all right, well, then I'm done with you. Like that's how it feels for a lot of them. It's just like, all right, well, I'm done with it then. Like I said, I had already pre-planned on playing Wolverine and God of War Le Fay. I still plan on playing those, and then that's it.
I can double down on one thing, and I'll probably say it as long as this is going to continue to be a topic. It does not matter what position you take as a company, you are still not going to make the profit you're looking for.
Correct.
I'm gonna just keep
and it needs
saying
to burn down for them to realize that. Who knows? They'll probably figure it out when everything does officially like burn down. We just needed to get there, and then we get back to the Renaissance and stuff. And who knows? Maybe then I go to get a PS7 because they came back to their senses. Who knows? But till then, we're good.
Yeah, and because there's still the cost to this, right? And the people weren't really jumping out there in droves to grab the machines and stuff anyway. And I think right now in August is when some of the other price hikes were supposed to happen. Anyway, I think it might have been Xbox, but it's just when you do that, you count out a few people. It's like if you look at McDonald's, like their drive-through, it's like what would happen to those drive-throughs? Some of the places that be wrapped around the building, if all of a sudden you just tripled the price of what was on the menu. It's not that it got better in any way. Their milkshake machines can still be down and all this other stuff. It's like, but it's still all of a sudden it's 3 times as much. A place like Qdoba. I don't know if you know, Qdoba is, I guess, a rival to Chipotle. It was there a lot longer than Chipotle, but Chipotle has way bigger of an audience. I have the app, and I get like emails from them where they'll say, today only or something, is buy one, get one free. If I choose to go in there, that place will be packed, right? Because they have that on there. But any normal time, that place is normally vacant. And it's like, do people not care about this place when it's normal price? And I think everybody is already wired to go for the deal.
Yep.
Like nobody is paying anything at full price. We haven't paid for games at full price in the last couple generations. There's a couple people on the internet that people follow, and they're a big part of this. Warrior 64 is one of them that comes to mind. And I know this is probably going to get me extra canceled, but honestly, the way the industry is working, I'm really shocked. Ain't nobody do a MLK on him at this point. Because the way that they acting is like, it's his fault, first of all, for some of the people going for a lot of these deals. But it's like, the way that they acting is like, you would think they would want every person who is like really showing off deals and stuff to be completely canceled or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, you don't just roll up in the store and just buy something full price for a regular game. You just don't do it. And then on top of that, I mean, it also goes without saying, the stuff don't even be available to begin with half the time to even go in there to get it if you did want to do full price. I'm sitting here saying I anticipated the Steam machine to be full price from the get-go, and I am one of the only ones who just can't get it. I can't get it. It's silly. I couldn't get half the Power Ranger toys I wanted to get at some point. I couldn't get it for a year and a half or something stupid like that.
Hey, you remember when I ordered Tyrannosaurus Sentry online and it just took forever to come in, and by the time I got it, they had like 2 in the store finally. And then it came in the mail.
It's goofy.
Can I tell a side story though? Because you unlocked a memory. One of the last times I went to Qdoba and I was getting my meal, I get to the register and I was just like, yeah, can I get sour cream? And the dude's like, no problem. I was like, how much extra does it cost? And he looked at me. Now he was a flamboyant dude, but he looked at me and was like, oh, chow, this ain't Chipotle. Sour cream is free.
Yeah, I think Chipotle charges for the queso too, the guac.
Yep. Yep, they
I'm
charge for
like,
all of it. And I just remember,
wow.
yeah, when I asked Tucker, it was just the fact that he confidently just called out Chipotle around it. So I was like, oh, Chad, this ain't Chipotle. It's free.
If anybody from
It's just, all right,
Qdoba,
bet.
if somehow, somewhere, Qdoba CEO is listening to me, all you got to do is season your meat, and you will be right back in competition.
Facts. Facts. Facts.
Like,
Facts.
like literally, just go and get like one can of seasoning of something and sprinkle it, and then
Bro,
you
they even
won.
make the put together ones. You ain't even got to experiment. Just get the ones that look Spanishy and then
Yeah,
dump that bad boy on there. You
because
good.
that'd be the only thing. Like, I think the rice and beans would be so bland. It's like if the cilantro and the lime juice was in it, it would change that, and then the regular chipotle seasonings that gives it a tiny kick. It ain't even got to be that much. You can just sprinkle it. It'll
Yep.
be on there. That's a side note. So I'm gonna move forward, but I'll derail it just a little bit more for right now. I actually went into Walmart and bought a lot of the pre-made stuff that you can kind of toss around in a skillet real quick and put together, and it honestly tastes very good by itself. You gotta like really work with it, but if you get their pre-made fajita steak and chicken, and then pre-made well, cut up some peppers and onions, and then they have a Mexican rice thing that you will warm up, and then like once you start putting it all together, it makes a burrito very, very well. And it was something that I
Hey.
needed for work just to cut down on time. So that's a nugget out there for everybody. You just got to really put it together, put your seasoning with it, do all of that, roll it around in a skillet real quick, and then you can wrap it in a burrito, toast it, and it'll be like it will be, restaurant quality.
Yeah.
But if you got it only in pieces, it's like, well, now you got to really work with it or whatever, right? Just for the people out there, like sour cream, chipotle sauce, queso, and salsa, just a tiny bit of everything, and it really puts it together. All right, let's get back to the podcast. Why is Netflix a joke? It got
Bro, I'm
something to do with
hungry
this
now.
type of thing.
All right. So, yeah, in terms of this is not necessarily gaming related, but more in terms of just companies continuing to be greedy. All right. So, my bro, he likes to use a VPN. And, WWE be like, if you live in the United States, go buy ESPN for $30. Or if you live outside of the U.S., you get to watch the pay-per-views on Netflix. And we're already expecting you to have Netflix because that's how you watch Raw. So he uses the VPN so he can watch the pay-per-views. And when he tried to do it, it was like, yo, you got a VPN on, this ain't working. It wouldn't let him access it. So then he tried to do a backup plan, which we did before, where I think it was like Fubo. But I did the free trial and was able
What
to
is it
like
called?
watch WrestleMania. The Fubo TV.
I'm not used to that one. I don't know that one. Okay.
It's one of them, but like basically, it's one of the ones where it like pretty much serves as TV. However, that bad boy costs like $50 a month. So
50
I was
a
doing the
month.
free trial. Yeah.
Do
So
we
I was
got
gonna
like
do the
all
free
cable
trial.
or something?
Yeah, basically, it's like
Okay.
cable.
All right.
I usually get the free trial around Super Bowl time. I've had to do that recently because I had somebody who just has it, like Sling TV and things like that, so we watch them there. But we were able to do Fubo for WrestleMania, right? Just do the free trial for a week, call it a day. Because ESPN doesn't let you do a free trial. ESPN's like, you got to pay up front. Right away. It's $30 a month, pay up front. Like, is how ESPN does it. So it's like, I'm not doing $30 a month if the only thing I'm about to be watching is wrestling pay-per-views on here. It ain't worth it. Like, unless I'm paying for the pay-per-view like the old school days. But, like, stop trying to cheat me. Basically, like, why am I buying all these streaming services to watch this one thing? But anyways, he tries to do that, and they started doing a thing where if the credit card you tried to input, because they still want you to do that for a free trial, if it matches a credit card that's from a different account, then you can't use it. Right? So it just pretty much blocked them from watching shows. Like, you got to pay. No more trying to get it for free. So I was looking, I was like, wait a minute. All the advertisements for VPNs usually say, hey, things on Netflix are region locked. And if you want to watch something that's only available in Canada, change your VPN to Canada, boom, you have access to it. And it's like, that's a whole thing. Since when did Netflix start trying to block it? I looked it up. It's blocked only for ad-supported tiers. So if you have the cheaper tier on Netflix, then it blocks VPN. But if you pay the money for the premium tier with no ads, it no longer blocks VPNs. Which tells me two things. One, there's no reason to region lock material because they don't care if you change your location and you pay the higher tier to watch the region lock stuff. And two, there's no reason for them to block a VPN because, again, they only block it for the poor people. Anyone who has the basic tier, you're stuck with what you got. If you got the premium tier, free reign to do what you want.
So they know full well what that's all about and everything.
Yep.
And they're basically...
We can't stop you, so we'll just charge you. Well, we can't 100% stop you, so we're going to charge you more.
But they technically could 100% stop you. They're just using it as a way to get you to pay them more.
Yep.
For a higher
that's what
tier.
I meant. Yep. We could stop it, but yeah, no, we want you to pay the premium one so you use it the way that you're trying to cheaply use it. It's the same way when they said, we're going to block being able to share the password, and from the backlash, they pretended like they cared about the backlash, but they're like, we'll tell you what, here's what we'll do. You can have the premium account, and that allows you to share it with up to like one person, but like, or you could, they have to recheck in like once a month at the home IP address, or you pay like an extra like $5 and per account that's never going to log back in. So what they try to do against parents, basically, it's, oh, you have a kid in college? Well, have your account and then pay us an extra $5, and they can keep their college account. So it's just another way companies are trying to steal money. It's crazy. I hear all this stuff, and it's just like, well, streaming and pirating, baby. Like, it's like, why should I give you anything at this point?
Yeah, they just kind of, doing too much. I think it's just if they could focus on actually putting together a really quality product and getting it out in a nice, reasonable time, you wouldn't have to do all of this.
Exactly.
Like, I was looking at a graphic that was showing like PlayStation's lineup over so many years, and it seemed like every generation it drastically cut it down on their exclusives.
I saw that. Where it said it looked like PS1 had a lot, PS2 had more, but then after that it just went down.
Yeah, it's just like even with that, like when you look at it, it's like, well, we're really still kind of like jumping the gun a little bit when we're saying exclusive, because some of it was, a majority of it went to PC, and then not only that, it was a lot of sequels and remakes. It wasn't so much that you just had a bunch of new titles, and then they didn't even put faith in their new title, like the, what was it called again? The $400 million thing that flopped, or whatever it was called. Concord. Like Concord.
Yeah.
I mean, the flop was because they pulled it, but it was like, you didn't give it a chance to do anything. Like, how do you have a game? And to me, I feel like a lot of these people don't know how to run a business. I honestly just think that, because you don't just push a game out to release and then snatch it back in 2 weeks.
Because it didn't give you all of the money at start.
Yeah.
In the middle, when like people are doing other stuff, like
it's like really not adding up the way some of them are running this generation. And I honestly think it comes back to what we saw with Sony addressing investors but not addressing a gamer, because the investor is trying to see some sort of profit flip immediately.
Yep.
But something like this don't do it. It doesn't go immediately.
By the way, I found the list. It said for PS1 there was 454 exclusives. For PS2, 514 exclusives. PS3, 180. PS4, 58. And PS5, 13.
It's just kind of silly to me, really. That just comes off silly. And then even within it, it doesn't really come off like these are newer games. Only a few things are new. There's a lot of games where they were reprinting the same one over and over and kind of pretending like things are new. It's barely any changes whatsoever. I don't know how many times they needed to reprint The Last of Us. It just seemed really goofy at some point. But I digress. Let's go ahead and move forward real quick to our middle part of the show. The part where I give reference to Epic Games. Epic Games is a platform primarily on PC as far as their storefront that hands out free titles every week. Sometimes it's 2 in the same week, which I think this is one of those weeks. And you don't have to have any type of payment uploaded. You can just use any gamer tag that's available and claim the games. And then once you actually do get a platform that supports Epic Games on a PC front, you can log in and then all the games will be there, right? So one of the games that's available for right now until August 6th. That's crazy. We are in August. A game called OTXO. So go check that out, OTXO. And then Sol Cesto, I believe. I don't know if it's Spanish, but Sol Cesto. Those 2 games are available from right now to August 6th. And then for August 6th to August 13th, Beacon Pines is one of the titles. And the other one is We Were Here Together. How fitting is that? We were here together. It sounds like everybody looking back at gaming before they leave it. Like, we were here together at one point. So that's available from August 6th to August 13th. So that's Epic Games. Go claim that. It is completely free. No matter what's going on, you can't complain if it's free, right? Anything going on in the Amazon world?
So not yet. I'll have it next week. They usually wait like within the week to actually announce them.
Okay. All right. So we'll come back to it. I do want to mention, because this is like really just quick news stuff that I have. Funny enough, the EA CEO, he gets a $8 million payday for Battlefield 6. And the headline said this is after they laid off the developers, whoever was actually working on this thing. Because we've seen Battlefield 6 had good success compared to the other Battlefield, whatever that was. I forgot the name of it. I think it was 2077 or 20 something, 2042. I think that one didn't do so well. This one did a lot well. And then the CEO, he gets $8 million, man. Are you happy for him? Yes, no, maybe. You're not happy?
Of course not. His $8 million comes from the people getting fired. Like, no.
He got his payday, man. Maybe he can afford the new PlayStation. Maybe he can. Maybe not the developers who worked on the PlayStation, but maybe he can. No, he can. All right. And then the other thing I wanted to mention. Here's something that will cheer you up, man. I know you'll be excited to hear this. There is a beta out right now for Mortal Shell 2. You can go and play that beta, see if you like it, and then the full release of the game is supposed to be available on August 20th, 2026. Any thoughts on that, man? Are you excited?
No, I'm excited for you.
Why you ain't excited?
That's your game. That's you getting excited for it. I'm happy for you. Yeah, I ain't gonna play it.
We was talking about how we was gonna have demos on here. I didn't edit the demo, unfortunately. I'm gonna edit it for next week. My co-host, he can play that game for the week after, and then we can come back and just, we can talk about all the demos, man. All right. You have a game on the screen. So this is called Boltgun, right? How you spell this?
Oh, yeah, Boltgun. Boltgun.
Thank you. So
you could have played this first. This is Pokemon, or this is from Sony.
Boltgun I could have. Okay. Oh well. What from Sony per se?
It's not from Sony, but I played it on the PlayStation because it was given away there.
Okay. Well, tell us about this title real quick.
See what I can remember.
How do you like this game?
It was cool. It was basically like old school Doom, essentially, which I guess is kind of rude to say because it's been existed, so it's like its own thing. But it plays like the old school FPS games where you're just kind of moving quickly, shooting, dodging. The enemies seem pretty cool. They don't really give you any kind of backstory. It just drops you in and it's like, go, kill them. And you just gotta run and just do your thing. And then just figure out where to go. The map is relatively linear, so it's not difficult to get lost. But you do feel like you're just like, maybe I'll just try going this way, and it either works out or you run into like the edge of a cliff and it's like, well, let's turn around. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Very fast paced. It's easy to just kind of jump in, do a level, and then jump right back out. And it's very snappy for the controls. Unlike some of the older, I know I have a hard time sometimes with some older FPS games. For example, or even third person. I'll give this for example. Mass Effect 1. As much as I love the story, the RPG, the look of the game, the shooting is just garbage. Like it feels non-impactful. Like you feel like you're hitting the button and it just like everyone's just kind of moving around. It's almost like it feels like, remember when you're a child and with the other kids in the neighborhood and you're just like pew 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 and like running and then somebody has to go, nah, I hit you. Like that's what it feels like for like Mass Effect. Where this actually felt punchy. Like you felt like you're like taking down enemies and mowing them down. You just kind of feel powerful. But yeah, my biggest comparison to it is Doom. So if you're looking for a retro style looking Doom that's also fast paced, and you want to get into the Warhammer world, I suggest this one.
Yeah, I do want to play this at some point. I know they had announced the second one. This type of game definitely shines on PC. You can really crank up the frame rate, and it shouldn't tank anybody's system if you have a modern day system. So yeah, and there's
Which
a lot of.
Now.
Oh, you do that? Yeah, and there's
I do have a modern day system now, but yeah, there's a lot of other games similar to this on PC as well. So you should not run short of these type of run and gun type games from that platform. I think even what are they
Epic
called?
Games.
Boomer shooters is what they've been calling them now.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I think the side scroller ones are the ones that's called running gun. Now I think about it, but yeah, I mean it's still the same. So and then because of the art style of them, you easily should get 120 FPS on PC easily, without too much of an issue, because it doesn't take that much to render these type of graphics. And that reminds me too, is like games that really focus on good gameplay and they have graphics like this. You'll see so many on the indie side. Those are the ones that's been shining lately, because the gameplay needs to be the focus. It should not be, can I see the pimples on your face kind of thing. It's like we don't necessarily need to be that detailed, but we do need the gameplay to be that polished.
You know what you're reminding me of? It reminds me of with EA, and you can even argue with 2K, when you're just like, all right, but did you fix the bugs, and is the gameplay working? And they're like, nah, but you can see the sweat. Like, it's more realistic. Like, every year, their big thing for Madden is that it looks even more realistic, and it shows a close-up of some sweat. For 3 straight years, they had the exact same advertisement, and then their major feature had a different name, but it was the same thing that just basically said it looks more dynamic.
Yeah, what's really bad, too, is, like, some of the other games, they'll focus on getting that store up and going for loot boxes and all that stuff, but won't focus on fixing the bugs. It's like, no matter what, we got to have that store going. And it's like, well, people will probably buy if it was actually running right. And it seems like...
I laughed in some of the early days from the Avengers horrible game, some of the earlier ones, and it's happened on Anthem a little bit too, where the game would be either like stuttering, freezing, you can't get into missions, but the store worked perfectly. Store was fine.
That's literally why they're failing. That's the part that's so crazy. Is like this is why you will not turn a profit. That's what I keep telling them. Like you're not going to turn a profit, and that's why.
It reminded me of old school YouTube before they forced ads on everything, where ads were first starting, and it was like the ad would play at like at the time 720p and like perfect frame rates, and then you get to the actual video and it's buffering and then drops to 240.
Yeah, it's just goofy. It's real goofy, and it's like, guys, nobody's gonna to jump through hoops to buy some of these things. That is the reason why, for some of the people who chose to be digital, they did it because they were game sharing, first of all. So by default, they was cutting the price of this in half. Everybody's paying $30 each. So you were already getting that discount. And then when the store discounts a little bit and it's like, okay, it's about $50 or something like that. That seems like a lot on a digital storefront. But if you game sharing, well, now we're both putting up $20 or something, $25. And it's like, that's why your digital storefront was getting to where it was. You know, if you got rid of gaming sharing, you'll see who really wants to have digital only releases. But what do you want to say about Dragon Ball Sparking Zero? Why is it controversial? What's happening?
Yo, it just upset everybody. All right, so Sparking Zero just dropped a new DLC.
I think I did
and it's
hear
called Neo something. Let me pull up the name, be all correct. But basically, they dropped what's it called? Super Limit Breaking Neo. Okay, this bad boy costs $35, but it comes with like 33 characters, 2 more solo missions, side maps, moves, blah 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 blah. Right, but still, it's $35. Now, the thing is though, is some people bought the regular edition, and then some people bought the Ultimate Edition, and the Ultimate Edition came with like the season pass that had some DLCs. This was not included in that list of DLCs. So some people paid $90 for the Ultimate Edition, and then they would still have to drop another $35 to get this DLC. Or maybe they paid it was $80, and then they had to drop another $35 to get this DLC. The people who have the normal one can pay for the DLC like separate as well. Well, they also, on the Steam storefront, and this is what upset everybody, they removed the Ultimate Edition, so you can't get that one anymore. And instead, they have the Legendary Edition, and that costs the same price as what the Ultimate Edition was. However, the Legendary Edition includes not only the Season Pass, but the Super Limit Breaking Neo. So the people who had originally bought the Ultimate Edition are now cheated out because they paid extra and have to buy a $35 DLC separate, where the people jumping in now for the price that they paid can get the new DLC along with the previous DLC and the base game.
See, and that's why I wasn't trying to jump directly into that game right away. Like, I bought the base game when it was on sale for like $20, and everybody was like,
"Yep, I missed that,"
hooping and hollering over it. But I did want to have, when it comes to Dragon Ball, the full edition. But they've been doing this for a while, where they literally sell, they drip feed and stuff. Is like, it's not really changing that much. Now they're starting to have some more series, for the overall franchise. But for the longest time, it was always Dragon Ball Z, and then they would drip feed like some of the GTs and stuff. It's like, this stuff been out since the 90s. Like, what is y'all doing?
Yeah, I used to make a joke that they always dropped them in threes in the old days. You'd have like the first one, which only went up to like the Android Saga. Then you'd get the second one that would go up to finish the Boo Saga, and then the third one had the GT, and then they would release a new set, right? And then it has a whole new name. Right, it went from Tenkaichi to Burst Limit or whatever, and again, the first one only went up to the Android side. Like, they would do that over and over to drip feed, and then, they're doing it again now. Now, it is currently on sale, and I'm considering going ahead to get it because I missed the $20 thing. But then I look at this and I'm like, well, what if you release another super pack? And you're just like, well, you gotta buy it in full.
I'm gonna wait till them super packs go on sale before I grab any of them.
Yeah.
I still gotta finish. What's the new series, Daima or whatever? I don't know if it's done.
Oh, yeah.
But I heard they was doing another one right after that too, so I mean,
well, now they're doing Dragon Ball Super Beerus, where it's just the same Dragon Ball Super, but now with a little bit more focus on Beerus.
Okay. All right. Um, I don't got too much more to say on that. Do you have
That was it. It's just
another?
they cheated people.
You had another topic, right?
Well, no, it was the Palworld one. We talked about it.
Okay. All right. I do have technically one last topic that I thought about, like literally in the middle of the show.
Okay.
That's not really a topic at all. Well, I mean, it is a topic. It's the releases for August. So let me just go ahead and run through that. So all the games that are coming out in August right now, which are basically for all platforms. So just check them out where you can get them. I mean, obviously some of them might not be on every platform, but just take a look at it just in case. But to start off, Beast of Reincarnation. If anybody remember, that was the game that the makers of Pokemon was making for Xbox. That comes out August 4th. Beast and Reincarnation. Marvel Token Fighting Souls. I don't know if it's really controversial, but it's connected to PlayStation's little fight stick situation. But yeah, that comes out August 6th. If anybody remember that indie game that was getting some buzz, Dusk Fade, that one comes out August 13th. Also on August 13th, we have Madden NFL 27. So go check that out. Hell Let Loose Vietnam, that comes out on August 13th. Mortal Shell, we already mentioned, is coming out. Mortal Shell 2 on August 20th. I don't know if y'all remember, or I don't think we ever talked about it here, but Captain Tsubasa 2 World Fighters. This is a anime soccer football game. I have the first one. This one's coming out on August 27th, 2026. It has an anime attached to it. Watch the anime if you want to get into it, and then this is the anime soccer game. So the Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2, that comes out August 27th, 2026. And the last thing I have here is Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. I'm assuming this is for the Switch, because Elden Ring been out. Switch 2 probably. This is saying August 28th, 2026. And that's my whole list. I don't have too much that I need to get right away, but there are some stuff here that I'm gonna actually get every now and then. Funny enough, the Dust Fade is the one that stands out to me the most because it's a brand new title and it's not really released on a major platform, or at least a part of a major platform's like marketing. It's just an indie title that's heavily inspired by like some Final Fantasies and some Kingdom Hearts mainly. Anything to say about this list? Did anything jump out at you while I was mentioning it?
Nothing really jumped out, but it's a nice solid month. I forgot that there was another Madden game coming out like right before football season. So, but yeah,
they
nothing really jumped out, but
roll them out back to back, right?
Yeah.
But
I have
all
to get
right.
them all out now before November, man.
So that's the end of the show. We were just under an hour. Maybe we can keep it that way for a little while, unless they just have a bunch of random indie shows again. But that's all I got. So like, comment, share, subscribe. I will catch you on the next episode. Peace.